you're a teacher of meditation and Buddhism at the University of Oxford.
Teaching Tai Chi at the University of Birmingham that I have done for 18 years. I have quit that job about for, let's say, 7 years ago because of my work that I have established in Thailand. But previously, I have taught at the University of Birmingham for 18 years, and that was the time that I tried to accumulate all my teaching. The teaching that is looked quite smoothly, that I present with all these terminologies and all the gadget that I use, the toy figures, everything. It didn't come just overnight. It was the accumulation of a good 18 years during my teaching at the University of Birmingham. In fact, I was employed to just teach Tai Chi, but because I always have the interest in meditation, so I was the one who tried to combine Tai Chi with meditation to my students and trying to find a way to explain how the minds work in a very simple language, simple terminology for my students. So that was the beginning, how I had all these Tom and Jerry, bring the mental self back home. So it was the accumulation of a good 18 years. And during those times, I also started to do the writing as well, gradually. It happened very gradually. Until now, the concept is quite mature now. I know exactly, what to say, and also all this analogy, everything, it all work out well. I mean, today, I still have the new things coming in all the time, but the sole purpose is trying to simplify this very ancient concept, of Buddhism, which has everything to do with human's mind, trying to make it simple for people. To understand, because this kind of thing, even the Thai Buddhists that we born in the culture, in the Buddhist culture, still struggle to understand, because there is a lot of jargon or the terminology in Pali term that you cannot understand. So but people still keep on doing it, and a lot of them, they don't quite know why we have to do meditation. This is the reason why I try to do it my way now, with all the analogy. Yes.
And were you born as a Buddhist, or did you came to it on a later stage?
No, I was born as a Buddhist. In fact, I come from a Chinese origin. The first generation born in Thailand. Both my parents are from China. So I was brought up as Buddhist from childhood. But it's the kind of Buddhist that you kind of just follow with faith. I didn't really quite understand. I just take it in because the parents, the grown-up, the monk, they'll tell you that this is what you're supposed to believe, like the law of karma, about the reincarnation of this thing. You take it on face value, really, until I reach university time. During my students' year, if you know a bit of Thai history, in 1973, 74, we have quite a bit of uprising in Thailand. The students have the movement trying to, overthrow our tyrants at that time. You see, and during that period of time that is quite turbulent, I gone through a really hard time. I experienced lots of mental pain, suffering. That was the time that I begin to question about life, why we were thrown into this world for. I even knew that the Buddha could help me to take away all this mental pain, all this suffering. But I don't know how. I even went into a temple, sat in front of the Buddha statue, and talked personally to him. I said that I know that you could help me to take all this pain away. At that time, the pain just like a big block. But I am looking at you, but I don't know how you can take the pain away from me. I didn't have the way, So that was the beginning that I began to realize that I wasn't a Buddhist enough, to understand how, because the Buddha taught about the suffering and the end of suffering. And I have the suffering, but I did not have the end of the suffering because I didn't know how to do it. So that was the beginning of the search. the beginning of the search for the way, and I was lucky enough to find a teacher. He's very famous, Ajahn Buddhadasa from Suan Mok in the province of Surat Thani down south. It wasn't like that. I read his book and understand everything. No, I did not understand everything he said. But what triggered me off is that I went to his temple, and his temple is a forest monastery.
Yeah.
Okay, his shrine room, everything is all in nature under the tree. And he said that he imitated the life of the Buddha. The Buddha was born under the tree, was born under the tree, reached enlightenment under the tree, and he also passed away under the tree, all these things, among all the natural environment. And it was that really peaceful environment that I experienced the peace, the calm, the inner peace for the first time in my life. And that time I was about 21.
Yeah.
I was 21 years old, and previous to that, I did not have any inner peace before. The life was quite turbulent, and especially the social landscape, the political landscape at the time was quite scary, really. That experience of inner peace and calm is really leave the very profound impact on my life and motivate me to search more. So I carry on finding the teacher and then try to learn to do meditation or these things until I can experience the peace, the calm. That happened during my first and second year in university, the end of the first year, second year in the university. So during my second year, third year of university until the beginning of the fourth year university, I kind of carry on with the practice. I took my junior friends to all different temples, to Suan Mok, to find all the teachers and then do a lot of meditation practice. And I even start the work as just purely voluntary, really. Agony aunt, answering questions for people who have problems in life. And I was only 22 years old, and people wrote to me, later trying to tell me their problem so that I can help them to solve the problem, that kind of thing. Yeah. I didn't realize that I wasn't, in fact, a professor. I was just a young girl at the age of, 22, 23. But anyhow, in the end, the fourth year at university, there was another political turbulence. The cracking down on students, because the tyrant that we chased out 3 years previously, they came back with a vengeance. And this time they really, sold the student out. A lot of students were killed. Yeah. So I kind of was hit. I mean, after a good 3 years of meditation practice, that I feel absolutely calm, in control of my mind. But after that incident, I was really crushed. My mind was crushed again, and I experienced a horrible, suffering again. Because a lot of people were killed, my friends were killed. If not, they ran into the jungle to join the Communist Party of Thailand or that thing. I mean, if I did not bump into Buddhism at that time, I would have joined the left-wing, movement. Yeah. For sure. But because I have already, settled in practice, and I know that it could help me, but I just need a bit more dedication, more practice. So by then, I graduated, from Thammasat University, and I knew that I could not work, I could not join the workforce. So what I did, I went in for a retreat. I left home for 7 months, spent 3 months in a forest monastery, really up north in Phayao district, Chiang Rai province, And then I still did not satisfy. I traveled back down to Saratburi province, and I spent alone by myself in a cave another 3 months, just doing meditation, just trying to charge the battery, to make my inner self, which I call mental self, or the state of a consciousness, really, to make that mental self, become very strong. After the 3 months in isolation, I felt that, okay, I had enough of inner strength, and then I came back to my family, who my mom was very worried about me, because by then I only was 23, 24. So after that, I just, went to work in hospital, and then ended up working for the United Nations the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugee, because at that time we have the Cambodian, refugee influx into Thailand. So I work as a social worker, and until I met my present husband,
Yeah.
that is the reason that I moved to live in England, which by now is 32 years. And from that moment onward, my spiritual journey never stopped. I just keep on practicing and then writing the books, helping myself to get strong, and then also raising 3 children while I did my writing as well, until I started working at the University of Birmingham. A bit of Tai Chi and then meditation, and during those 18 years I gradually built into the work, which I did not see. I could not see at that time. It's just more of take one step at a time. I could not foresee that in the future I would be a teacher like an Ajahn Supawan or have my Supawan Green YouTube channel. I could not see, but it is this kind of work that can flourish easier. Just take it as it goes. I don't expect much. Even today, I still keep on telling myself that my aim is just to help one person at a time. To fish one fish at a time. Because in the end, I'm still a woman, a housewife, a mother, and now a grandmother. I'm still have to taking care of my family. I have my first grandchild, and I love looking after my grandchild. I still love the family environment. But I want to prove to people that even in this form, as a housewife, a mother, a grandmother, we can still achieve the supreme goal of life. Reaching nirvana, finding the ultimate truth, and we can still carry on with the practice in a home environment. And I would like to emphasize that all my wisdom, all my knowledge, that is that I have gained, my intuitive wisdom that I call, is all happen at home. Happen in the kitchen while I'm doing the cooking, washing up, drying the washing, take the washing out in the garden, feed the children, all these things. Because the family environment is full with problems. Full with problem that I call Jerry. You have the perception that is problem all the time. And then the Buddha said that wherever your problem, your pain is, just dig it out at that very point. So if the pain is happening right here, right now, you got to know a way to do it.